It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ, where business becomes show business. Jamie is a leading Tampa Bay real estate agent and featured on the Wall Street Journal's list of top 100 real estate agents in the nation. Jamie invites you to list your home with him today and learn more at tampabayradio.com. Now, live in studio and promoting the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy, your host, Jamie Maloney.
Hey, everybody. Good morning or welcome back to the program, depending on if you were listening earlier or just tuning in. Remember, we start the show each morning at 7 a.m. now and go for 2 hours all the way up to 9 a.m. So thank you all the listeners, show partners, and guests, and also my staff and producers that make this show possible each and every morning. Josh over there helping out also on the color commentary and co-host as well, and also running the live video stream available over at tampabayradio.com. So good segment there in that last hour. Always a pleasure to do this each and every morning here with you, Josh, and the rest of the team here. So looking forward to another great hour. It's going to be a musically inclined hour. So let's go and bring on my first guests for this half hour. I got a duo here. I got Brendan Schluth and Laura Barrett. They are the owners of the Barrett School of Music. Learn more about this throughout the discussion over at the website, barrettschoolofmusic.com. So Brendan and Laura, welcome to the program today.
Thanks for having us.
So Brendan and I will begin with you. Tell us a little bit about what the Barrett School of Music is.
So the Barrett School of Music is a in-home service that we have in South Tampa and Brandon and West Chase now that we're growing throughout the greater South Tampa area. And we teach instruments such as piano, voice, guitar, clarinet, saxophone, cello, violin. I can go on and on. Okay, and we're really trying to broaden that.
Okay, so there is no storefront right now. This is an in-home service, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you founded this along with Laura. How long has it been in existence now?
About 3 years, would you say?
2011 is when we started the studio, but it didn't really start growing and hiring other teachers until about a year and a half ago.
Okay, and so what are your individual backgrounds in music? Brendan, you said you're a pianist and a guitar player, correct?
I am.
All right, tell us a little bit about you of that.
So I play in a jazz combo band as long as a wedding band. Those are my main gigs, and I also play in the local bar scene as well.
Now, are you self-taught musician, or did you go through school for this?
I went to the University of Tampa.
Okay.
I got a BA in music and a minor in psychology.
What was your first love? Was it the piano, or was it the guitar?
Well, the rule in my house was you had to play an instrument if you wanted to play sports.
Oh, really?
And I've played sports throughout my whole life, so it was kind of a thing. But it was a great rule.
What was the sport that you had to trade off for that?
You played a lot of them.
You played all of them.
A lot of them.
That's a good trade. I played baseball growing up, but I was never told how to play an instrument. But I wanted to play an instrument. I remember buying a guitar. I remember buying a set of drums, and like I told you before, I have no artistic ability whatsoever, though. So I could not put it all together. The drums, I would sit there and I would just kind of listen to a song and try to imitate the song. And the guitar, my fingers were just too fat, and I couldn't get into some of those positions. And I don't even know. I mean, is that an impediment for some people?
No. But not at all. My buddy Robbie weighs 400 pounds and he shreds.
How does he not crush? How is he not keeping the other strings down with his fingers? I can't get my finger bent up and off the other strings. It's just impossible.
Well, he has a huge desire for sandwiches and playing the guitar. That's all I can say.
Huge heart.
Brandon, can you teach anybody, no matter how their fingers are shaped or how wide the fingers are, how to play
any
the
finger
guitar?
size? I got you.
Yeah, so.
Any finger size.
It never happened for me, nonetheless, because my first love in music was rock, and it still is, and that was what I was going to be as a kid. I was going to be a rock star. I wanted to be a singer. Just one big problem, I couldn't sing, and so I can't even stand to listen to myself sing. You know, at least the people sing in the car when nobody's around. I don't even do that to myself.
I couldn't imagine you with 80s hair and frosted tips.
Well, I never did buy into the 80s pants. Hair. I never did any of that stuff. I tried to let my hair grow long a little bit, but it gets so wavy and curly that it just would drive me crazy, and so I would always cut it. So I never became a rocker, although I really love rock. I love headbanging. I love the mosh pits. I love all that stuff, but look at me like you do, but I just never morphed into that character. So also being from West Virginia had a large part to do with it.
I was going to ask that, yeah.
I had to kind of keep it under wraps because everybody up there were country fans and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So if I was talking about Motley Crue or Guns N' Roses, people are like, nah, man.
Some Hank Williams Jr. territory up there.
Exactly. So
what's wrong with Hank Williams?
Nothing.
Awesome.
Nothing wrong with Hank Williams. Yeah, but he's
Johnny Cash too. You know, Hank the Third's great.
Yeah. Laura, what is your musical discipline?
I'm a vocalist, and I specialize in opera. And let's see, I got my BA in music.
Are you about like 300 pounds too small to be in?
Yeah, I never get that. No one ever comments about that being small.
Well, I mean, all the opera, what do they call opera singers that are female anyway?
I don't know. What do they call them?
I think you might be lacking in exposure a little bit, but
She shot you down, Josh.
I also listen to Guns N' Roses and Winger.
Yeah, you're talking to rockers here. Yeah, we're not artistically inclined at all. So,
Speak for yourself. I am. I just don't know opera.
Yeah, I don't know. So, how did you find your love for opera?
well, growing up, my mom is actually a classical pianist. And so I just really grew up around classical music. Probably, well, I guess you didn't grow up around rock necessarily, but we all did music. All of like my family gatherings growing up is pretty much like these big like classical music sing-offs. It's horrible. It's the worst thing ever. And so we all learned whatever instrument we learned that way. And then in school, that was just kind of the natural progression. I had a really inspiring professor, Jerry Reynolds, who's probably not listening because he's probably asleep, but he's awesome. And so that just kind of like fostered that love.
Did you play an instrument too, or just sing?
I actually grew up doing piano, and I did that most of my life, and then I switched to voice in high school.
Now, did you sing traditional songs before you found opera, or did you always go right into opera as your discipline?
Well, I mean, yeah, I was always pretty classical in voice. So like art songs, growing up into arias and operas, and that's like a natural progression.
And tell me, how do you train as an opera singer? Because you got to hold those notes for like so long. I mean, how do you breathe and sing at the same time? I wonder sometimes when I'm listening to somebody sing opera.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot of technique that goes into it for sure. Breathing is pretty important, to like hold notes and stuff.
Can you like hold the note and then inhale this at the same time? Is there some type of
singing is exhaling.
No, that's just strictly
trick.
I didn't know if maybe you're doing, the pat in the head, rubbing the stomach type of technique or something, doing two different things there once with the breathing techniques when you're doing opera.
Well, not to mention, she probably plays piano and sings. That's like drummers that can play and sing. It's incredible.
Yeah, do you play piano and sing in performances too, or do you keep them separate?
Oh, not in performances. No, I mean at home and in lessons and all that. But
I have to stop mid-sentence just to tie my shoe. You're amazing.
So tell us, Brenda, tell us about the different types of people that you work with at the Barrett School of Music. And do you work with like children, adults, teens, all levels? What demographic are you serving?
We do a wide range of demographic. I teach a 2-year-old currently the guitar.
Wow.
So we have that, and it's very, very, very.
Now, be honest. Who wants that person to learn the guitar? Is it the kid, or is the parent kind of forcing it?
It is surprisingly the kid.
Really?
The kid he's the cutest kid. His name's Grady. The cutest kid out there.
So he's already picked up the guitar and said, I want to learn this thing.
I walk in, he's got the guitar around him already, and he's just strumming away, and we sit down, and I play him songs, and he strums along with me, and we learn parts of the guitar, and just the basics.
What do you teach a 2-year-old on a guitar? I mean, what's the popular kids song that you can play on a guitar today?
Old MacDonald.
Old MacDonald.
good one right there.
Old MacDonald.
The classics.
Or Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Mary
I
Had a Little
remember
Lamb.
my only entry into music was playing the flutophone in 4th grade, which was a recorder, and that was like the entry point, because next year was when bands started, and they wanted people to get exposed to music. And I was actually one of the best flutophone players, and I could remember how to play Mary Had a Little Lamb, and I learned a few other things like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
Pull them out whenever you want now.
Yeah. But
What the hell is a flutophone?
It's a recorder.
It's the most terrible thing in the whole
It's a little flute-looking thing, with holes in it. It's just plastic. I think it costs like $10 in any Walmart.
Is that thing that I bought my daughter and she drove me nuts? I can't get any sleep.
Might
That's
have
the
been.
one.
But I've noticed through the years when I say flutophone, nobody knows what I'm talking about. But that's what we
I've never
called
heard
it.
that, yeah.
But it was a recorder, though, is what the I guess the proper
Professional
musical
musicians are looking at you like, what? What are you talking
But
about?
no, we called it a
But all
flutophone.
the 4th grade moms are like, yes, I hate that thing.
Maybe this was just a West Virginia thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
what
I was
we
going
called
to
it.
say West Virginia right there.
In 4th grade, though, everybody had to play the flutophone.
The whites of West Virginia are doing backflips right now. Everybody knows the flutophone.
And so I became pretty good at it, but I never carried it over in the band or anything like that. I kind of wish I did, because I do like music.
I actually imagine you as a drummer.
Yeah,
I think
like I said, I
that.
bought a set of drums and for like $30 from one of my friends, and that didn't last too long. I had no idea what to do with those. Are any of you two trained in drums or percussion?
I can sound pretty bad on drums, if that's what you're asking.
Do you have an instructor at the Barrett School of Music that works with people on percussion?
We do not. We would love to hire someone who can do that, though. If anyone's listening out there,
I'm a big fan of percussion. Blue Man Group, I love Blue Man Group. I talk about them a lot on the show and how just revolutionary they are with sound and the percussion, because a lot of their show is just people banging on drums and all kinds of different pipes. The creativity that the Blue Man Group does. If anybody out there has never seen Blue Man Group, highly recommend that. So, Brendan, tell us about the different markets that you're serving. Do you cover just South Tampa? Do you go out of the county? Who can benefit from the Barrett School of Music?
We started mainly in South Tampa, and people coming to Laura's studio to learn lessons. But since then, we've been growing, and really any service we have or any call that we have for lessons, we try to fulfill that need.
Now, you all started this about 3 years ago, and I take it you all came together with this idea, correct? At the same.
Well, I actually started it myself
Okay.
right after college, because I had worked a little bit teaching privately while I was in school, and just kind of decided, maybe I could keep doing that. I don't know.
So you became an entrepreneur right out of college.
Oh, yeah,
then.
exactly. I've
All
been
right.
an entrepreneur for so many years now.
All right,
Yeah.
so there you go. So you're an entrepreneur and also a musician, tying the two together. When did Brendan come into the mix?
Let's see, it was April last year. Yeah, so
Okay.
April 2015.
And Brendan, what attracted you to the Barrett School of Music then?
Just like how she started, I saw a flyer on the UT music studio wall, and I said, I would love to teach music. And then it brought me an opportunity to really expand my musical knowledge and to get out there and help others expand their musical knowledge.
How many
as well.
people have you worked with now through the 3 years on some type of instrument or singing or what?
Personally, I mean, I've probably had like 70 or 80 students over the last 5 or 6
And how do you
years.
differentiate yourself from other schools of music or music teachers? I mean, obviously, there's probably a lot of that stuff out there. How do you differentiate yourself from the competition that's out there?
Yeah, there's a lot of other studios in Tampa. I think a couple things that put us apart, offering in-home lessons. We like to give that convenient service to the families that we work with. And our music philosophy, our teaching philosophy, is more of like an asset-based approach. So instead of looking for one type of student or putting everybody on one type of path to be a certain type of musician, we want to really help our students set goals that make sense for them and like where they see themselves as musicians, and then thinking of it as our job to just get them there, like put them on that track. So we have cute little 2-year-olds who are standing there waiting for you when you get there, and we have some R&B singers who travel around and do their gigs and deals, and we have some kids getting ready for college who want to major in music. And
Do you deal more with children and teens? Do you deal more with adults? Who's your biggest client base?
well, Brendan probably teaches more of the kids because
Yeah.
Brendan takes on the newer students, and then I probably have the older students.
So, Brendan, you
adults.
kind of playing like the Jack Black role over there, maybe the School of Rock, and have like
Oh,
a
yeah,
school, little second graders and a rock band type of thing.
That's me right there.
Yeah, that'd be a yeah. Have you ever thought about putting together like a School of Rock with like a bunch of second graders or whatever the
Maybe.
class was?
That sounds like a great idea. It might start
Good
right
kick.
there.
Well, there you go. Brendan Sleuth / Jack Black, owner of the School of Rock, is where he's going to be coming in next time on the program here. All right, I got to take a break here again, talking to Brendan Sleuth, owner of Barrett School of Music, along with Laura Barrett, also the owner of the School of Music. Learn more about this over at barrettschoolofmusic.com, or you can pick up the phone and give them a call at 813-293-4594. Again, 813-293-4594. You're listening to That Business Show. Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Teresa Turner is a certified public accountant and the founder of Tax Happens, a boutique-style CPA firm providing small businesses and individuals with hands-on, personalized tax and accounting services. Although we would love to tell you how happy their clients are, we would like you to see for yourself. Tax Happens has 21 Google reviews and a 4.8-star Google rating, 17 Yelp reviews, and a 5-star Yelp rating, 38 Facebook reviews, and a 4.9-star Facebook rating. What sets Tax Happens apart is number 1, upfront pricing, 2, clear deadlines, 3, personally available year-round, and number 4, a willingness to empower clients to do as much or as little as they desire. Visit taxhappens.com for more information.
Savvy business owners utilize technology to connect with customers, communicate among teams, and collaborate with partners. Even with advances in technology, you all know it's not infallible. Where do you turn when your technology starts working against you? Who do you depend on to keep your team productive? Don't wait until your technology fails you. Get ahead of the crisis and contact the professionals at Alpha Computing Solutions so they can show you how to keep your technology running smoothly. Visit them online at www.alphaco.com www.alphacomputing.com.
Did you know the biggest challenge business leaders face today is creating an engaged and productive workforce culture? Bill Meyer Ham Consulting wants to help you solve this challenge. They will help you transform your workforce culture to produce amazing business results. Call Bill Meyer Ham Consulting at 941-201-4650 today or visit BillMeyerHam.com. That's BillMeyerHam.com. Have a conversation. How many times have you said to yourself, I wish there was an app for that? Stop wishing and start making the world better. Turn your brilliant idea into a profitable business by using Popcorn apps. Their affordable app design will help get your blue sky idea or proven business to the next level at a fraction of the cost of other developers. They will help you get through all the steps needed to make your thoughts become live. See them at popcornapps.com with a K in popcorn or call them at 727-415-6705 for your free consultation and pop your kernel of an idea into $1 million business and a world changer starting today. What's up, business rock stars? Are you ready to bring out the CEO in you? Join Julianne Nichols, CEO of Focus on You Strategy, every other Friday on That Business Show. She'll be talking with other chief entrepreneurial officers about how they grew their businesses. Remember, you could join the conversation at Focus on You Strategies Focus Fridays Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/Focus Fridays. That's facebook.com/groups/Focus Fridays. Be the CEO of you.
I knew Mom wanted to stay at home. It's the center of her family, her life. But helping Mom stay in her home while managing mine was just too much. Honestly, it wasn't just about me. Mom didn't want me to be her caretaker. She wanted me to be her daughter. I felt so alone until I found out about Home Instead Senior Care. When we met the people at Home Instead, we just knew they were different. The experience was personal. And most importantly, for Mom and me, I get to be her daughter again.
Home Instead Senior Care. To us, it's personal.
Who doesn't have a smartphone these days? And of course, there's an app for everything. Well, almost everything. That's why the folks at Popcorn Apps started developing mobile applications. They saw people like you with genius ideas, unable to make those thoughts a reality. They develop applications for tens of thousands of dollars less than you'll find anywhere else, and will turn your idea into a reality in a matter of just a few months. Think you're not ready? Think again. They are your one-stop shop for mobile application development. See them at popcornapps.com with a K in popcorn or call them at 727-415-6705 for your free consultation and pop your kernel of an idea into $1 million business and a world changer starting today.
From the RP Funding Traffic Network.
Crashing northbound Nebraska Avenue north of Fowler Avenue. Left lane blocked here. Also one near downtown Tampa at Nebraska and Columbus. Heavy traffic on the southbound side of the Veterans Expressway from Gun Highway to Waters, southbound 275 from before Fowler Avenue to Hillsborough. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson, New York. Hillsborough traffic tip line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Positive Coaching Alliance. If you're involved in youth or high school sports, you need to know about Positive Coaching Alliance. PCA, a national nonprofit organization, develops better athletes and better people. PCA workshops help coaches, parents, and student athletes pursue winning and life lessons through sports. Visit positivecoach.org.
Today, sunny, then a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms, high 92. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 77. Tomorrow, a 40% rain chance with a high 91.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And welcome back to That Business Show. Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Doing a musical hour here. Currently talking to Brendan Schluth and Laura Barrett. They are the owners of the Barrett School of Music in the Tampa region. Learn more about this, barrettschoolofmusic.com. Or give them a call at 813-293-4594, and they can help you with singing, some guitar playing, maybe a little piano, a lot of different instrumentation. So, and we got two people here. So Josh has got two lookalikes for us, I assume, right?
Yes.
All right, who we got here?
Well, Brendan, I know Jamie has called you owner a few times, and I saw you guys kind of like creeping up, laughing a little bit, trying to hide it and thinking it's funny. But I know the truth of the situation. So right now we have Katie Cassidy and Steve, the Minion.
That's pretty. I have glasses like that though. That's kind of like, how'd you know that?
Yeah, and that's exactly why I thought of Steve the Minion, because if you look at his show card, there's a show card. I mean,
Right.
that's perfect.
That's you just.
Yeah.
That's the most accurate I've ever been.
And put the minion. Can you put the minion beside the show card?
Yeah, just give me a call.
All right. So there's Brendan up there. And
Can you turn me yellow?
Turn him yellow, and there we got the minion from. Where are the minions even from? I don't. Where did they start? Do you know?
Despicable Me, right?
Despicable Me.
That's how it
Okay.
started?
But they came from some
It's really
island, and
on
their
point.
first master was like a dinosaur. you
All
know?
right, so I don't know a whole lot about the minions and stuff. Although I did see them in some movie that's on my TV, a little 3D movie that I got. Forget the name of that thing now. So
You probably thought there was something wrong with the TV, and you were punching it.
So, I don't know. There's just so many different things that come up through the years and
You know,
stuff.
when,
and
when
just-
TVs don't work, like Jamie's laptop, he punches it.
Oh yeah, and well yeah, that's the only way I get my screen to come in right now. every time I open up my laptop right now, the screen doesn't come on, so I have to bang on the back of it. Sometimes it comes in right away. Sometimes it's taking 5 minutes or more. So I should have asked my friend. Yes, I had Mike Murphy in there from You Click We Fix. I should have asked him what's going on. Why does this work? So any other person would have just scrapped the computer right away as soon as because when it first happened, I didn't know how to get the screen back, so I just started banging on the thing, and finally it popped in. So who knows what's going on? But yeah, you're right.
And I have trouble tying my shoes and talking at the same time, so we're really behind the skill level of our two guests here, and with playing pianos and opera singing, and he's teaching 2-year-olds how to play guitar.
We're easily impressed, is what he's saying. Yes. So tell us, Laura, how does one become a teacher or an instructor with the Barrett School of Music?
So we go through an interview and audition process. We're currently looking for a bass teacher who can do both upright and electric bass. And me and Brennan are pretty hard judges. So
Either you
better
play
be
any
thinking.
bass, Brendan, you play the guitar. How does the bass and the guitar kind of complement one another in terms of learning them? If somebody knows the guitar, can they learn a bass pretty easily on top of it, or
Well,
no?
the guitar, really, the lowest 4 strings are a bass.
Okay.
So what a bass turns into is more of a thicker string and a fuller sound is what a bass is. So if you can learn the guitar and you can learn the chords and all that, the only thing that is up to the bass is that finger picking with the right hand.
Okay, I've never really understood the bass. I know what it does, what it sounds like, but I've never understood where it came from and why it's always in every single rock song. I mean, so it's just the lower 4 strings of the guitar, and it provides that kind of deep.
It's the backbone.
The backbone of the music and everything. So if somebody plays the guitar, then they can then learn the bass fairly easily at that point.
Fairly easy. If they know the guitar, they know the fundamentals of the bass.
Okay,
which
so
is
can they go backwards or the other direction?
They
Can they
can.
start with the bass and go to the guitar
They
and learn
can.
that fairly easy?
I have a couple friends who have done that actually, and have a great sense of rhythm because of the bass, and then have a great sense of theory going to the guitar.
I've had several people tell me I should learn how to play the bass because I wanted to play the guitar because of the finger issue.
I actually do play guitar and bass.
Yeah?
And, it's exactly right. I started with the bass and then moved to guitar and then back to bass. Now I play them both.
Well, you watch the guitar player and his hands are moving all over the place. The bass guy's just making a couple like basic movements and
That's
stuff.
because you listen to like 80s rock music and they all suck.
Am I oversimplifying?
Boom, boom.
Yeah, am I oversimplifying the basses? I mean, because I watched the
Maybe
yeah.
go check out Jaco Pastorius or maybe Flea.
There's
and
a-
then
oh,
they'll
that's
change your mind.
Claypool.
Yeah, Flea does get down on the bass. Yeah.
He does
So
get
he
down
does
on
to
the
get
bass.
down on that. So
Yeah.
big fan of Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Flea's also a fan of hitting things. If you watch him play the bass, it looks just like you trying to get your laptop.
You know what I
clear.
also noticed about Red Hot Chili Peppers lately, and check this out: Anthony Kiedis, the lead singer,
His
he
frosted
looks
hair tips.
well. That he looks like
Yes.
Uncle Rico now from Napoleon Dynamite. Go up there and look. Trust, he does. He's turned into Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite. I swear, I've seen him.
Celebrity lookalikes of our guests to celebrity lookalikes of celebrity lookalikes.
Yeah, he is. He's morphed into that character, Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite. I swear, he's
gotta
he's
Google
dyed
this.
his hair black. He's got the mustache. He's totally Uncle Rico. So, real quick, got about a minute left. Brendan, Laura, what's the best way to get in touch with y'all for your services?
Well, you can contact us by phone, 813-293-4594, or on our website. There's different options to have us contact you. We can shoot you an email, text you, call you.
All right.
Yeah.
And offering services in singing, guitar, violin, a lot of different instrumentation, and looking for instructors right now, percussion, and also the bass. So get in touch with people. Get in touch with them for that. Brendan Schluth and Laura Barrett, owners of the Barrett School of Music. Thank you both so much for being in studio.
Thanks, Jimmy.
And learn more, BarrettSchoolofMusic.com. You've been listening to That Business Show. Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Hi, I'm Kelly Ham from Bill Meyer Ham Consulting. Did you know that one of the biggest challenges that leaders face is getting their employees to be engaged, motivated, and producing amazing business results? At Bill Meyer Ham Consulting, we'll help you transform your workforce culture from one that might be underperforming, maybe mediocre, to achieving amazing business results. You see, we realize that your workforce culture is equally as important as your business plan and your business strategy. The two must be aligned in order for you to reach your desired business and financial goals.
Hey, Jim. I just got this plan that could really help with our process here.
Okay, why don't you just have a seat and let's go over it. Let us help you transform your workforce culture by leveraging your most important assets, your people. I want to know what's going on in your organization. Let us help you transform your workforce culture. Let's have a conversation.
I feel guilty that I can't always be there when Mom feels stuck at home. She was always there for us. But now she can't get out, and I'm not always available to take her places. Someone else needs to help her get around. Then I learned about Home Instead. Now Mom can do what she enjoys because her personal caregiver is there, and I can just be a daughter again.
Are you struggling to care for your loved one? We can help. Home Instead Senior Care. To us, it's personal.
York, Hillsborough traffic tip line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by the Hillsborough County Public Works. Help us to fight mosquitoes. Any outdoor debris that could hold water, like old tires and discarded appliances, can provide places for mosquitoes to breed. Find disposal options at hcflgov.net/solid waste or call 813-272-5680.
1250 winds, weather center forecast. High today in the low 90s. You'll see sunshine to start the day, with clouds picking up into the afternoon, rain chance kicking in then as well for 40% chance of scattered showers and storms, mid to upper 70s for the low, 30% chance of rain tomorrow, low 90s. Impact Radio 1250 winds, WHNZ.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And welcome back to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Just a reminder about the partnership with the Tampa Bay business owners. The show now working in conjunction to bring a stronger voice to the business owners here in the group of Tampa Bay business owners, a.k.a. TBBO. Got a good event coming up tomorrow for the members only. It's going to be the Business Improv event, where we incorporate both comedy and improv skills into public speaking, speech writing, and presentation. So that's going to be taught by headlining comedian Law Smith, along with improv coach Nancy Sears. And we're hoping to make this a regular monthly benefit of the Tampa Bay business owners. And if you're not familiar with the organization, learn more over at my site, TampaBayRadio.com, and also TBBO.org. And also, we're running a promotion right now as well. So for $4.95, you can come on to this radio show program, and we'll discount off $100 off of the membership, and then you can just pay the activation fee, which is $250, and you'll get the radio show appearance, which is basically a rebate back to you for joining the Tampa Bay business owners. And then after coming onto the radio show, you'll get another interview as well, because that's a benefit of the organization, and you'll get several other interviews on top of that throughout the year, as that is my source of guests starting after September 1st. And again, learn more about this over at TampaBayRadio.com, and also our events calendar at tbbo.org/events. A lot of good stuff going on each and every week through the Tampa Bay business owners, aka TBBO. Time to bring in my next guest for the program, and in keeping with the musical theme, I have Amanda Enriquez and Blake Leopold with the Tampa Bay Light Opera Company. So it's a rarity that I've had two opera singers in the same room at the same time in the last segment, and now Blake Leopold, who is also an opera singer, so the female and the male. So we'll probably talk a little bit more about opera in this segment, because that's specifically what they do, the Tampa Bay Light Opera Company. So Amanda and Blake, welcome to the program today. So Blake, I will start with you. Your title is specifically, though, executive director, but you're also an opera singer. But so first, tell us, about what the Tampa Bay Light Opera Company is.
Well, I think I'd start by drawing a line between traditional opera and light opera. Light opera really encompasses more than just the stereotypical opera. Light opera can be opera, of course, but it can also be musical theater and cabaret and things that are more
What is traditional opera then? The big, the fat lady on the stage with the huge voice.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's what it's viewed as.
Right.
And oftentimes a person will get an idea that opera is a very stodgy old art form. I like to think of opera as almost any other entertainment medium, like a movie.
An opera is just a play that's set to music not. Is there much, and I'm not familiar with opera at all. Is there any type of dialogue that goes on throughout an opera, or is it always just singing like a musical is?
Well, traditionally, going back to Germany, really, they have something called Singspiel, which started emerging around, I think, the 18th century. And they actually started including some dialogue. What happened with opera and where it goes back in history is it started in Italy, and basically it was this idea that they wanted to sing like the Greek choruses from old and classical times in ancient Greece. So they decided to set entire plays to music, and plays already existed. So that's what they did. So these composers set plays to music, and the whole thing was sung. And then they started interchanging, they started putting songs in, they started doing dialogue, and that's kind of how musical theater emerged later on, and all the different forms of theater that you see today. So we do have light opera that does have dialogue.
So is it light opera because that's the market that you have here in Tampa Bay, that Tampa maybe not be able to support, like a full opera type of setting maybe?
Yeah, light opera is in a category by itself. Generally, light opera is shorter. So instead of a 4-hour commitment to the theater, you might have an hour and a half or a couple of hours. It's oftentimes comic in nature, most all the time comic in nature. Typically, it'll be sung in English. And as I say, it's more entertaining.
So what performances are you doing, and how many performances are you doing per year? Are you taking operas and then converting them into a light opera form, or are there performances that are specifically written by yourselves or for the light opera environments?
Yeah, musical theater is light opera.
Okay.
And so we really don't have to convert anything. Those are separate categories, as I say. And within the light opera world, there are hundreds of productions that can be done. So that's what we're going to be about. We are not Tampa Opera or St. Pete Opera. We're the Tampa Bay Light Opera. So that's really our mission, to present those type of venues. And for people who don't necessarily go to operas, this is sort of an opportunity for them to be introduced to that world, but on a more of a gateway type.
Yeah, more of a stepping stone.
Yes.
Because I'll admit, you'd have a hard time getting me to an opera, and I've never been to an opera. I've seen them on TV, and I was like, I can't understand what's going on in an opera, and so I'm lost, and I'm not naturally artistic. I mean, how does one follow along with what's going on in an opera? Is there supposed to be a backstory I'm supposed to understand, or what?
It really depends on where you go. I wasn't really into opera growing up. I saw my first opera, it was Carmen, and it was actually, at the Straz. It was over 3 hours long. I was probably 15 or 16 years old. And the singing was magnificent. It was all in French. And they had the subtitles up at the top, so you could see what they were singing about. And honestly, a lot with opera, they get a line, they have a sentence, and then they sing an entire, what we call an aria, which is just a big song that conveys passionate emotion. And they will sing this one sentence, usually, this phrase, like, "Oh my gosh, I love him so much." And they'll sing about how much they love him. So really, it's about the performance. It's about the singing. It's about the music.
Okay.
And of course, different operas and different centuries, you get all different flavors of things, which is how light opera sort of emerged.
How would you classify the Tampa Bay Light Opera in terms of the different genres or disciplines in opera? I mean, does it fit into a certain category or a certain mold, or is it just it doesn't fit?
That's a great question. There are a lot of crossovers. In fact, most of our singers do both things. They will be on the stage at the Straz or St. Pete Opera, and then they'll cross over and they'll do light opera. The singing that's required is similar as far as the skill level, because we are doing things that Tampa Bay Light Opera will do things that are by some of the same composers that composed their great operas.
Mm-hmm.
They just did a smaller show, more lighthearted, but the quality of singing is very much the same.
Is there normally like one lead singer throughout an opera, or do you mix in like various different types of performers throughout? I mean, I'm just used to like the fat lady singing in the middle of the stage.
Sometimes you'll get huge ensembles in a show. You'll have a giant chorus, and you'll have 6 to 8 main characters. Other times you'll have something a little bit more intimate. They like to do lots of well, in opera, you always see quartets and like sextets sometimes, so it's really anything, wide variety.
What's the history of the Tampa Bay Light Opera Company? How long has it been around? Who founded it, or how's it run? Is it funded locally, or is it a private company? How's that work?
Well, Tampa Bay is a 501c3
Okay.
Not-for-profit company. We're an emerging company, which means we've just been around now for about 6 months, and the birth of that was really put it this way. I've been teaching in Tampa for about 25 years.
Okay.
And during that time, I've been privileged to teach some very talented singers who have gone off to some of the best schools, and they've really made a name for themselves outside of Tampa. And the reason for that is that the business model of, I would say, most opera companies, whether they're in Tampa or New York or what have you, is not to hire the lead performers in-house, so to speak, or from geographically that area, which means that a lot of our singers here in Tampa Bay, although they are magnificent singers, they really don't have a venue. They don't have the ability to find a place where they can go and strut their stuff.
Okay, so that would be the mission then of the Tampa Bay.
Mission.
Okay, so that's the mission then of the Tampa Bay Light Opera Company, to give a voice to the singers locally that are skilled opera singers, and also expose it to the Tampa Bay market, and maybe an entry level or stepping stone versus traditional opera. And that's what the Tampa Bay Light Opera Company is offering. And you have an inaugural gala coming up in February of next year. And so talk to us about this and what this is going to be.
So our gala is yes, it's in February, and the theme is 1940s radio broadcast, actually. So we're channeling a little bit of that here, but it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a live band, huge big band, swing music. It's dinner, auction, the works. We're going to have a live show featuring some of the local artists that we are talking about. And it's just going to be a lot of fun. We have a good chunk of money that we need to raise in order to really start getting these performances up and going.
Have you filled the cast so far? I mean, is everybody in place that you need? You don't need performers?
We haven't even had auditions.
Oh,
but
so
we have listened to singers.
Okay.
It was amazing when we first started up the company. We just kind of put the word out there. So many vocalists and musicians came out of the woodwork. Like, it was amazing.
How often do you find a vocalist that is just classically trained in music and finds out that they can sing opera, for instance?
That happens frequently. A lot of times we'll have someone that comes and they really don't have a direction. So in teaching, I like to say, well, we'll see where the voice leads us.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that leads towards opera, other times musical theater, jazz, what have you. Not that a singer can't sing a lot of those, but sometimes the voice is just tailor-made for one of those things.
Amanda, you're a singer yourself, you say?
I am.
Opera, though?
Yes, I didn't originally start with opera. Blake Leopold here was actually my voice teacher when I was 11 years old, and I, continued with him up through high school, and then I went to music school and got my master's. But basically, I started at musical theater and kind of contemporary, and then I started studying classical technique in order to become a better singer in general.
What do you sing? What do you sing day to day? Are you in a band? Do you just do private performances?
I do a little bit of everything.
Okay.
I did study 6 years in school for classical voice, But I love musical theater. I do Latin music, a lot of salsa, merengue, and that sort of thing. A lot of top 40 stuff. So I'm kind of a mishmash of
Any rock? I'm a big rocker. You like any rock?
I can channel some Paramore and Evanescence for sure.
I love rock groups that have a female lead singer. I love to hear
Lee and Haley Williams. Those are my girls.
Yeah, I love to hear a female sing hard rock music. I think it complements a rock band so well to see that. And I wish there was more. That's like a Lita Ford or something like that. So, do you know who Lita Ford is, or is that before your time? All right. She's very young, by the way, or at least she looks very young.
Oh, thank you.
She's very thin for an opera singer too.
Yeah, the other, just like Laura in the last segment. Yeah,
my perception of this whole opera thing is completely different now.
Amanda, how did you find the Tampa Bay Light Opera Company?
I'm actually a teacher at Blake's studio. So I started working with him. I moved back here to Tampa last year after I finished school. And he was gracious enough to hire me, and I started teaching. And, we've known each other for a very long time. And he started throwing these ideas up in the air about, starting a company. And he's like, I came in one day, he said, Amanda, what do you think of doing something like this? And I said, that sounds amazing. Starting something specifically for local artists and to kind of enrich the artistic community in Tampa. And I said, okay, let's do it. So we posted something up on Facebook about it on our studio page at the Leopold School of Voice and Piano. And that's kind of how it happened. So we couldn't back out of it because it was already out there in the social world, or at least online. And so
Blake's face just went like, "Oh crap! Now I got to pay her."
Yeah, so that's what happened. I said, "Okay, let's do it. We're doing it." So we launched it out there, and then ever since then, it's just kind of been rolling. And we had to do something because we said we were going to do it. And that's kind of what we needed to get it done.
We'll talk a little bit more about that, and also the gala that's coming up, their inaugural gala on February of next year, and they're still looking for cast members and singers. So if you're interested in this, we'll talk a little bit more with them about how you can get involved in the gala coming up next February at the Tampa Bay Light Opera Company, and you can learn more about this over at tampabaylightopera.org. You're listening to That Business Show. Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. At Vein 911, we will help you feel great again. Do you have restless legs, night leg cramps, or ankle swelling? Restless legs, cramping, swelling, and tired heavy legs are often symptoms of hidden vein disease. You do not have to have visible bulging veins to have the symptoms of vein disease. The vein care specialists at Vein 911 are uniquely qualified to evaluate and treat your veins. Are you unhappy with your previous vein treatment? Vein 911 succeeds where others fail. Call Vein 911 today at 855-VEIN-911. That's 855-834-6911 to book your free consultation. Vein 911. We will help you feel great again.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
If you've been following That Business Show on Facebook and Twitter, you may have noticed the quality of some of our images. That's because one of our sponsors is pro photographer Rick Taseda, a member of the Professional Photographers of America. You can view his extensive work by going to his website at ricktaseda.com or call him for an appointment to chat about your photography needs at 813-641-4757. That's 813-641-4757. Rick Taseda Visuals. Call him for your next event or project. In an age when the good and the better vie for attention, it is the best that stands out. The best of Tampa Bay from Proudly Florida is the love story for the city of Tampa, celebrating success, sharing achievements, a tribute to enterprise and community spirit. Let Proudly Florida showcase your business to your city, your nation, and the world. For more information, email info@proudlyflorida.com and be sure to visit proudlyflorida.com.
Have you ever tried to buy a home for your family only to find out that you don't qualify for a mortgage loan? You thought that after 20 years as a customer of your bank, they would help you when you needed it the most, right? Unfortunately, the banks of today are not the banks of our parents and grandparents, and our relationships with them just don't matter anymore. My name is Frank Cotto, and I'm the president of the Lincoln Lending Group. We all may need a bank, but we also need a Frank, and that's what I'm here to do for you today. Lincoln Lending Group will waive all of your lending fees, which include your mortgage, application fee, your underwriting fee, processing fees, and any bank points. Just call 813-MORTGAGE. You drop the E, and we'll drop the fee.
Teresa Turner is a certified public accountant and the founder of Tax Happens, a boutique-style CPA firm providing small businesses and individuals with hands-on, personalized tax and accounting services. Although we would love to tell you how happy their clients are, we would like you to see for yourself. Tax Happens has 21 Google reviews and a 4.8-star Google rating, 17 Yelp reviews, and a 5-star Yelp rating, 38 Facebook reviews, and a 4.9-star Facebook rating. What sets Tax Happens apart is number 1, upfront pricing, 2, clear deadlines, 3, personally available year-round, and number 4, a willingness to empower clients to do as much or as little as they desire. Visit taxhappens.com for more information.
Savvy business owners utilize technology to connect with customers, communicate among teams, and collaborate with partners. Even with advances in technology, you all know it's not infallible. Where do you turn when your technology starts working against you? Who do you depend on to keep your team productive? Don't wait until your technology fails you. Get ahead of the crisis and contact the professionals at Alpha Computing Solutions so they can show you how to keep your technology running smoothly. Visit them online at www.alphacomputing.com.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Minor delays on eastbound Courtney Campbell Causeway from before the big bridge into Rocky Point. Also northbound 275, very slow in St. Petersburg from before 175 to almost Gandy Boulevard. And in Tampa, typical delays on westbound I-4. Slows down just a bit between 301 and MLK, and then on the brakes again between the Selma Connector and 275. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson Udrich, Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Stand Up to Cancer.
I'm Tony Goldwyn. 20 years ago, when my mom had lung cancer, she didn't have many choices. But today, you do. If you've been diagnosed with lung cancer, please visit standuptocancer.org/lungcancer to learn more.
Today, sunny, then a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms, high 92. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 77. Tomorrow, a 40% rain chance with a high 91.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And welcome back to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Talking to Amanda Enriquez and Blake Leopold with the Tampa Bay Light Opera Company. Learn more about this again at TampaBayLightOpera.org. And Amanda, the gala coming up in February, is there has a play been picked or a title for this yet, or is that still open up and about?
It's called the 1940s radio broadcast.
Okay, so that's the actual title. Okay,
yeah,
I thought that
think
was
that's
a theme.
the title,
Okay.
working title, but I think so. Yeah, so all of our information is actually on our website. You can click there. We have a whole little tab, logo labeled Gala. And you can get a whole lot of information there, and you can even make reservations and ask us questions.
How many people are involved in a production like this, from the back end to the directors to the performers? I mean, how many people does it take to pull off a performance?
You know, it takes a great deal of people. And usually when you have a smaller ensemble, so you have all of your actors and your singers, but because we're doing light opera specifically, we will have a live orchestra. So all of our musicians will also be hired locally. And I mean, it's going to be all your strings and your keyboard, whatever that specific show requires. We're going to have that entire live ensemble. So it's not just singers, you know, it is all sorts of musicians and artists, lighting, sound. So as far as people, I mean,
Blake, who are you looking for specifically? What roles and voice types, for instance, that could be of benefit at the gala?
Well, the voice types, of course, will be the traditional voice types: the soprano, tenor, bass, mezzo-soprano.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody who is interested in getting on stage should contact us.
Now, what's the practice schedule going to be like, and the involvement for people that get involved? And I imagine this is just strictly volunteer, correct?
These will be paid.
Oh, okay.
These
so
will
people
be contracted.
Okay. These will actually be contracted. Okay.
Right,
Every
so-
actor in the whole production just said, "What?"
Yeah, we're trying to get singers working. And
Because this is a 501c3 nonprofit that's been set up and stuff. So you're going to pay the actors. Where is the funding coming from then right now? Is it just donations from the community?
Is
Boy size
that
just got really big?
It's that initially. We've been blessed so far in that we've had several people buy into the vision of what we are doing, and they've made that clear by helping fund us.
How do people give donations into the Tampa Bay Light Opera Company? What's that process?
They can contact us. We will have a donation button on our website, on our webpage, and or they can call us directly. We'll take what we can get.
Now, do you have dates for the auditions for the gala, or should they just pay attention to the website, TampaBayLightOpera.org? What's the schedule like? Because we're in August and February. I mean, that's kind of right around the corner to be getting ready for a major production. What's
fortunately, the gala will feature just a few singers, and it's not so much a production as it is. It's patterned after the old World War II bond drives, where Bob Hope and Bing Crosby would bring singers behind the microphone, except our bond drive really is a fundraising drive for Tampa Bay Light Opera, and it's the whole 1940s World War II type of theme. We encourage our guests to dress in period dress, and there's going to be photo ops, and so it'll be a lot of fun.
Do you need anybody behind the microphone? I could fill that role.
We might.
Yeah, they say it's going to be a radio.
He's like, I got my fluffy white shirt, my meatloaf wig, and my black leather pants.
I could talk behind the microphone. That's not a problem.
A great idea.
So if I could be of service, invite me over. Happy to check that out. So
you gonna frost your tips?
If I have to, whatever I got to do. I've never been in any. Well, I think I was in like some little school play or something for like the Christmas, school thing. But other than that, I've never been in any type of play or anything like that.
By the way, are you ready for their celebrity?
Yeah.
Look-like?
What we got? What do we got?
All right, this one's probably one of the better ones. All right, so first we got Kelsey Grammer, and then we got Leighton Meester from Gilmore Girls, and I don't even know what Kelsey Grammer's from. X-Men 3.
Have either you two been compared to them before?
I usually get Robert Redford, but that's
Robert
fine.
Redford. I can see. Kelsey Grammer, and I don't know who's the other girl. I don't know who's that. Who's that?
She's the best friend of Blake Lively in Gilmore Girls.
Gotcha.
Gossip Girl. I'm sorry.
Another good segment.
She knew.
Learn more about this over at TampaBayLightOpera.org. Amanda Enriquez and Blake Leopold, thank you both so much.
Thank you.
And again, they'll be doing a inaugural gala on February of next year, so keep an eye on their website, and they are looking for performers, and they're going to pay you as well. So get in touch with them, TampaBayLightOpera.org for more information. In the meantime, learn more about this program over at TampaBayRadio.com and connect with me on all the social media sites, Facebook.com/That Business Show, Twitter under Jamie_Maloney. You've been listening to That Business Show, Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
The preceding was a commercial program.